بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hari ini kita berada di Taman Bersatu Jalan 9. Tanpa membuang masa lagi, jom kita diving ke dalam untuk lihat ikan-ikan yang ada. Selamat menonton dan semoga terhibur.
MashaAllah, beautiful question, very important and pertinent. We need to go back to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاث. When a human being passes away, his deeds are actually cut off except from three. One of them is knowledge that the person has disseminated. It will continue, inshallah, as much as the people continue learning and the fruits continue being reaped. At the same time, also the hadith makes mention of a sadaqatun jariyah, which means an act of worship, an act of charity that the person engaged in, which would be continuous. So something that the benefit of it continues after the person's life, they would continue getting the reward for it. And at the same time, waladun salihun yad'u lah, which means a pious child making dua for that deceased person. From the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we've heard him making dua li jami'i maut al-muslimin, for all those who've passed away from the ummah. So to make dua is perhaps the most powerful gift you could ever give any deceased person. If I were to die, I would actually want people to ask Allah to forgive me and to grant me Jannah. That would be the biggest thing you could ever do. And continue to make the dua and make it again and again and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, if the person has had a debt, it would help if you were to contribute towards finishing up the debt. If the person was supposed to fulfill, for some reason they couldn't, it would benefit if you perhaps would fulfill that particular hajj by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So like I said, some people engage in so many things. They believe that after 3 days you need to gather, and after 10 days perhaps you need to gather, and after perhaps 40 days you need to gather. That in the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So we'd prefer to do that which is authentic and which is more beneficial, even if shaitan comes to us and makes us feel for a moment that, you know what you've done is very little, it's very light. Why don't you do something much more? But to be honest, it's light and it's easy, but that's the most beneficial thing. It doesn't mean that because gold is right here and it's easy for me to get, that I must go and dig the stones from out there. The gold is right here, let me collect it. MashaAllah, that's Allah. So Allah's made it easy for us. Also, what I'd want to encourage and spend a moment to encourage us all, don't wait for yourself to die and then hope that someone after you is going to do something. Some people sometimes they build a waqf and they say, okay, this is a masjid, inshallah, the name of my parents, may Allah grant them Jannah, and so on. Do things in your life. Read your Quran, fulfill your hajj, make sure your debts are all paid up, make sure whatever's happening, your charities, knowledge, you disseminate in a beautiful way. And inshallah, that will help much more than if someone else were to come later on and do something claiming that, okay, this is on your behalf. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and may He guide us in this regard. Jazakumullah khair. Shukran for that question, my sister, and I hope the answer has helped.
Kalau bosku suka dengan konten-konten yang ada dalam channel ni, please consider to subscribe, like and share. Thank you for watching. Dengan itu, Assalamualaikum dan kita jumpa lagi.